Hello, and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Wednesday, April, whatever, 7th, 8th, 9th. April 9th.
It's my favorite. One of my favorite numbers, man. Only number with two faces.
The days they just lump together.
Just like people.
Just like the weather.
Oh my God, especially in this region.
Man, I swear yesterday was peak New England weather. We got it all yesterday and a little bit today too.
I ain't took this hat off all day. Let me see if I got lines on my forehead. Yep. I wore this hat in school, bro. I wore this all day. Legit all day.
Yeah. It always bears the question, why do I do live here anyway? But, you know.
I mean, we make good amount of money up here. That's the only price.
I mean,
but I'd rather be warm and, you know.
Yeah, but it's like out of all the states in the country and regions, this is probably the most like logical region in the U.S.
Remember why?
Yeah.
You know why, Mook? All 4 seasons. Yeah. Straight reality. Yeah. We get reminded that it's supposed to be cold throughout the year. Oh yeah, it's called winter. Not going to the beach during the winter. That just doesn't make sense.
Facts. I don't know if you saw this. This was a while ago. There was a story. I don't know if this is true, if this is still happening, but there was somebody trying to create like a Topgolf, but kind of like basketball style.
Yeah, I heard that. I seen that. Mike sent me that in DM like a while ago.
Yeah. I
thought it was kind of like a cool idea, but you know me, I don't like drinking and playing. I don't like drinking and doing anything active.
Yeah.
So once I'm having a good time, I'm having a good time.
And I think like basketball is just one of those things you can't have like a Topgolf type of thing. You can't, because out of all the sports, but when it comes to basketball, it'll start off playfully, but at some point it's just everybody, the competitiveness just comes out, and people start getting a little bit too intense or too into it, and then it just escalates. That's like with basketball is legit the only sport like that, I swear.
I feel like basketball is the only sport that everybody can say they're nice.
Yeah.
Just because you can do a little bit until you're out there and you play with different levels of people.
Yeah.
But everybody can be like, they're nice. I had a kid say he was shifty and his jump shot looked crazy. You know what I told him? Hell no. But I said, today it's a hell no. Next month it might be something different.
Right.
But you know what I mean? So basketball is one of those things that like it's the easiest sport to play. You find a hoop anywhere. So anybody just feels like, yeah, I'm nice. I can make a layup. It's like, no. No.
And then if you put it in a setting like Topgolf, like I said,
and then liquor being involved, emotions, and basketball is probably one of the most emotional sports, just as a whole. You know what I mean? Just because so many emotions come into play.
Especially like with guys that played, that haven't played in a while, but then they get back into it. You know, they start off at fun, and then it just takes one person to say the wrong thing, or just one person to say something slick, and it's just like. And then you just see the seriousness. So it'd be hilarious if they had a Topgolf like that for basketball, but you would see a lot of people, even like folks in their 70s, you'd see them in there like acting up just because.
You seen that pair on Instagram? The two dudes, the old heads. Yeah, but it's just shooting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that bad. I don't mind shooting machines, but you can't have it like actual, or even a half court.
Yeah, no.
Like even Good Times used to have the half court inside the joint. If y'all remember Good Times,
the cage, right?
Yeah, y'all missed a wave, man, a wave. Yeah. But yeah, they even had that. Yeah. So,
and even that was, that one was because we was playing 2-on-2 with them.
I wonder how people out there remember the cage, man. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, I remember one time we went in there and played. Yeah, there was like a line of people too. It was just like a whole hour of 2-on-2 games going. People fully dressed too.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I went in the cage one time, but I used to go play Time Crisis and stuff like that. And I used to be like, yo, who comes here to go sweat?
Right, you come here fresh and all that.
Come here get some ladies. I ain't coming here to show what I do all the time.
Oh man, good. Yeah, that place was. They should have never closed it down.
I mean, they could make a new one, reopen it, give it better stipulations so people aren't getting stabbed and murdered and things of that nature. There, like Jesus, man.
You're right. Oh man, quite the transition.
What's up?
That's Grace texting me.
Good Grace.
Final Four. We're gonna get to the national title in a second, but first let's break down the Final Four games. Overall, Final Four weekend was really good. All the games were really good and competitive. It also just showed like how silly it is when people try to say college basketball is a better product than the NBA, and you just watch these games and you're just like, yeah, y'all. Whoever says that need to be drug tested. But overall, good game. Auburn and Florida.
People say that?
Yeah, people actually say that.
I would say more entertaining, but I wouldn't say a better product.
Yeah.
I'm like NBA is boring to me sometimes. You know what I mean? But college basketball is always entertaining. But they're both fun to watch.
Right.
But that's crazy though. The product. That's the upper echelon of products. Like what? All right, my bad.
You're right. No, you're right.
Like what?
Right. First off, Auburn and Florida. Walter Clayton Jr. This dude's draft stock just keep on going. He had 34 points. I think it was back-to-back games with over 30 points. And this game, it's just been like culminating with Florida all postseason. If you don't knock them out and you give them a little bit of a window, they're gonna take it and they're gonna seize it. And that's what happened in this game. Auburn was leading most of the game, double digits, and it just felt like they were winning, but it was just like, yeah, but they still giving Florida a chance. And with a player like Walter Clayton, you don't want to give him a chance or a glimpse of anything. So they left the window open, and he just took over down the stretch.
Yeah, I missed this game. I think I was training kids or something. But, it's Auburn versus Florida. Florida's been talked about all year as one of the best teams all season. Auburn has been in contention of being the best teams all season. Just people didn't have that much faith and stock in them. That's why they didn't really speak that much about them. So we knew what was going to happen. 2 conference opponents. Yeah. What was the season series?
I don't remember, but I know Florida beat them in the SEC championship game.
All right. So last time they played, Florida won. So Auburn's trying to get their get back. Couldn't get back.
Yeah, I felt it just. It seemed like they didn't really have like down the stretch. It was like down the stretch they didn't have like enough like poised possessions to seal the game. It seemed like Florida was the more under control team down the stretch, and these guys, they were more, just like, didn't really run their stuff. And I don't know what it is, but Bruce Pearl is not a guy people like to root for.
I mean, what is he? Has he done anything behind the scenes that was suspect?
Yeah, I think that's why he got fired from Tennessee.
Oh, see, what I remember him in Tennessee, they had the little documentary of like whatever during the season. He used to work out with his players. That's what I respected about Bruce Pearl. So I don't know what he did after all that. Yeah. So that's my last recollection of Bruce Pearl with Tennessee. Yeah,
and to piggyback on what you said before, the first time they beat them, Florida beat them on February 8th, 1981. I think that was like their only meeting in the regular season.
Okay.
Yeah, so Florida had their number there. Florida just had their number this season. Yeah.
And Clayton been showing he's been one of the best players all year too. On one of the best teams all year.
Talk about a steal. Talk about a grab from the transfer portal. He was I think he averaged like 10 or something at Iona, and then.
Sometimes you just need an opportunity, man. More shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Duke and Houston, this literally came down to the wire. This game, I was sitting there watching like, yeah, it looks like Duke's going to win this one because as the time kept going, the lead, they had a 10-point lead, 7-point lead. They was up 7 with like 30 seconds left, and yeah, big meltdown.
Yeah, somebody asked me how they lose, and I said, I felt like Houston finally got them calls they were supposed to get during the game. When your announcers talking about this contact over 4 or 5 plays, call the game the way it should be called. Doesn't matter if Houston's older, more experienced. We don't care about none of that. Call the game the way it should be called, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And they wouldn't have called that sorry all over the back. Because I'll be honest, he barely boxed Cooper out to even deserve the over the back. But once again, it was kind of lopsided throughout that game.
I agree with you. That's one of those calls. You're like, come on now, and like, come on, you don't make that call. But you don't get in that position. Make your free throws. It sounds like Tyrese Proctor, who was having a great tournament, shooting the ball. I think he was averaging like 17 or something.
I think he only missed. I think he was like 12 for 16 from three,
Right.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
he was but he's been 60%, like 68% free throw shooter the whole season. So kind of that came back to bite him. But it's kind of crazy too. Him a 68% free throw shooter. I think the guy from Houston, he was a 60% free throw shooter, and he makes 2 big ones, and he makes 2, which is good. Work on your free throws, people.
Yo, I heard Homeboy didn't have. Was that I seen a graphic. I wasn't paying attention though. What's his name? Malaka, whatever his name is, the big man for Duke. They said he had no rebounds the whole game.
Yeah, no rebounds.
That wasn't like somebody making that up.
No, I lied. Nope.
Cause I'm like I watched that whole game and I'm like, did I really watch him not get 1 rebound?
He did not have a rebound.
And
Correct.
Cooper Flag, that boy good.
Yeah,
Like I said, that boy good. That boy real good. I liked that I was watching the way he was creating, where he was handling that ball, creating. That's why I sent you that message, because now when he got the bump and then threw it down low for the the dish, I was like, damn.
Yeah, and then I mean, people say something about him. Man, that was a good shot.
What?
The shot he took.
He makes
That last shot, that was just a good shot, good contest.
that's his shot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all noticed when he fell on the far end, he kind of grabbed his toes. I don't know if he was cramping up or something like that, or something happened. So I could see him not getting enough lift on that last shot, but he shoots that shot all the time.
Right.
That's like his patented shot, actually.
Yeah, he makes it more times than he missed.
I wasn't mad at that shot at all.
Yeah, and it was the defender. He stuck with him. He had a good contest on it, and that's what you got to do.
I mean, the way that game went, both teams was playing hard. They was playing so hard they was going brain dead. Homeboy had a Tom Brady moment when he reached over. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, you giving the game away. But that didn't even matter.
It did.
Because they were just playing so hard.
He definitely forgot. He definitely forgot that you can't do that, because he had it right the first time, and then when you saw the reach, you're like, this dude thought he was still in. He was in.
I don't even think he meant to. I just think he was just moving. He's that guy he's like the Dennis Rodman. He's just so active, super athletic. You see what he was doing at the end of the game.
Right.
So he made up for the mistakes. But it was just like, damn, bro, relax. Calm down.
It was, but yeah, that heck of a game. I mean, Houston, they could have packed it in that game too, but they kept with it because the shots weren't going down. Nothing was going right, and then I think one of the guards he made a shot, and then Sharp made the 3, and then it's one of those things which you just got to see one go through the hoop.
I ain't gonna lie, when you text me, I wasn't surprised because they don't stop. They're old school, prototypical basketball players. You don't stop playing till zero's on the clock.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah, hey man. They play until 0.
I mean, you see their practice clips.
They'll say their practice is like WWE.
I mean, I feel like a lot of schools practice that intense. They just don't go overboard, like end of the play, far end of the court. You know what I mean? Still rolling over on each other.
Yeah, it'd be like that. All right. We back for that technical difficulties. Last year they kept talking about how the men's final NCAA was boring, and they kept trying to tell us the women's bracket was a way better and all that stuff, and ain't hear none of that discussion this year. I wonder why.
Because the Lionesses start playing with their food. That's why. God damn, Gino. What you put she put their breakfast, man.
Oh man.
I am, like I said, I was, you know what I mean? Sad for Dawn. I've always been a Dawn Staley fan. But I felt like Paige deserved that. One hell of a career.
It was just the better team.
Yeah.
We'll get to them right after this one. The men's national title game. Florida once again. Yeah, like this was like Florida all tournament. I think they were down double digits in all the games except one this tournament, and they just came back in all of them. I mean, Houston had a 12-point lead, and then I felt like they just got away from what they were doing. And man, my man Sharp, he's gonna have a hard couple weeks. Back-to-back turnovers, and then that last turnover, the last one at the end of the game, it's like, that's what happens when you're hunting a 3 instead of just trying to go get a basket.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah. I thought he was going to give the hezzy, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they're only down 2.
Yeah.
Either take, granted, if your coach just goes for the 3 and the 3's not there, get a bucket.
Right.
End of the day, the game is still tied. When I got home and saw this game, Clayton was telling people, stay on Florida, boys, stay hot. So I saw them on the stage. I didn't even see them yet. So from the looks of it, Florida's like giving teams a head start.
Yeah, well, like Houston completely got away from everything they were doing, and yeah, like you said, like you're down 2. There was like 13 seconds left. You have enough time to attack the basket. If you don't get the bucket, you could still foul and extend the game. But they were just hunting for the 3. But when they could have just tried to attack and get the 2.
And maybe because I'm a tweener, that I'm always prepared to do, like, you know what I mean,
Right.
shoot and drive. But it's just one of those and create. But it's one of those things like he already decided to shoot. Then before he even got the ball. That's why I was like, you know what I mean. He was already ready to shoot it. He was pretty deep. So it's like, bro, you should have looked first and seen what you had.
Yeah,
but
and in Florida, the way Florida was playing defense, they were playing the 3. They weren't gonna let them shoot the 3 because they know how good of a the shooters they have on their team. So they were on the 3-point on those 3-point shooters. So when they're doing that overly aggressive on the 3-point shot, that's when you gotta utilize the other
You just
stuff.
can't end the most important game of your career so far like that.
Yeah,
That's
like
just jump in the air and you can't even get a shot off. Like, come on, man.
Right,
You better all just shoot it then.
Right, you should have just shot it. And hope for a prayer because there wasn't. Yeah, but terrible way to lose. But Florida first title since the Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Corey Brewer days. The coach is young too. Like he's like 39. Yeah. So kudos to them. And they got a 7'9" guy that's coming in next year.
Oh, okay. That boy from IMG?
I think so.
Okay. I mean,
they got a good foundation right now.
he's really 7'9"?
That's what they say.
I just hope it's like a useful 7'9", that he actually be something. I don't, like, what happened to Taco?
Taco overseas or something. Yeah, but Taco still he still does work with the NBA for marketing wise. Because Taco, yeah, he's still like he's like an ambassador for the league too.
So what, they got him kind of like on some like whatever you do overseas, depending on how you produce, will bring you back.
Something like that, but
Because I'm not doing nothing for y'all unless you pay me like an NBA guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make sense to me. So he might have something in the works that like, he can come back. Because
he's always in the playoffs. He's always at the games and stuff like that.
I mean,
yeah.
teams need bigs. And when they put him out there, granted, it's tough for him to move, but I'm sure he's been moving better and better the longer he's been a pro. Just give the man a shot. Give George Marison a shot.
Or Taco. Taco's gonna sell you some tickets though. I tell you that. Even if he's not playing, he's gonna sell some tickets because the fans love him. He's a fan favorite.
I mean, how many blocks did Banu average? How many blocks is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
George Marison average, like just having a big body in the paint certain times of the game is just helpful.
Facts.
Especially a person that big.
Yeah, this is true.
Like what?
This is true. But Houston, I know I wanted Houston to win because I picked Houston to win just because they have more fine women in Houston than they got in Florida. So that was my logic.
Let me throw the H back there.
Yeah,
back in the day.
They lost, but they have a good chance of getting back with the guys that they got coming back. I think they got like 4 top 50 players in the class coming in. They got like 4 of them coming in, plus with some of the guys that didn't get to play this year that were top recruits and stuff. Because they had like a couple, like they were a veteran team, so they got some guys waiting in the wings.
Do they have a shooter like my man?
I have no. We'll find out.
The way he was knocking that thing down all season.
Which was Sharp or a Crier?
Crier. They ain't bringing in nobody that's shooting like that their first year in.
Yeah, Crier's tough.
Bro.
Crier's tough. He's tough.
Every time he shot it, he made it.
He's tough.
Like, bro. So it's gonna take him maybe like another year or two. I think personally, because the way he was holding them up all season.
Yeah, but they got a good foundation.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Yeah. So, to the women's national title game. Woo wee, boy, oh boy. As he said, Gino and them.
Yeah, I don't know what John.
Yeah, beat the brakes off UCLA, then beat the brakes off the defending champs.
That UCLA thing was expected. They only had that big girl, and they made it very difficult for her.
Man.
So, you know. And that game was over the first quarter.
Man, this game was over the first half. Second half, they outscored him. What did they score him? 46-33 or something, and it was. Yeah, it was just outcoached. That's pretty much it, and that's hard to say with Don Staley as the coach. But
I mean, she played against Gino.
Yeah, Gino outcoached him. He outcoached him.
I mean,
and this is similar to their first meeting.
Aren't they want to get each other in the Final Four in the chip? Who you can't lose to in the chip? Paige.
Her first year? Was it her first year? Wasn't it Notre Dame?
I thought it was South Carolina. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't. You know, we don't know all that, but yeah. UConn didn't play South Carolina before the chip. You sure?
I don't know. I'll double check right now.
Yeah, but if they did, they 1-1. If they did it, Gino's 1-0. But Don's kind of had UConn's number for some years now, so I'm liking how the parity's kind of even now, because it seemed like South Carolina was gonna be the new UConn. What happened?
No, you're right. No, go ahead.
Oh, then now it's kind of like, it's kind of leveling, balancing out now. And you got some other teams in the wins looking to, put their foot down next season.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely played in the national title from what I'm seeing here.
They never did?
No.
All right.
Played in the regular season a couple times.
No Final Four either?
No.
All right. Well, Gino want to know against Dawn. And Dawn trying to get her get back. So.
Actually, never mind. 2022 Final Four, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, 2022.
So Final Four, not the chip?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the Final Four, they 1-1.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, you got to get back. Now she waiting to get hers.
Yeah, gotta get that. Gotta get that one back. Yeah, get that one back. But I think they just picked up someone in the transfer portal to South Carolina.
Yeah, they did. They picked up homegirl. Yeah, they did. Homegirl from Florida State.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah. She was the leading scorer in D1.
Bro, was she? Oh man.
Tanaya Latson.
Yep, man. She's a bucket.
Good ad.
Bucket.
Good ad, man. Good ad.
Great ad.
Man, speaking of that transfer portal, Lord have mercy. It's like every day, I just see another player going into the transfer portal. There's been like over 1,000 players in the transfer portal. But I'm just like, at what point he's just like, yo, why y'all going in the transfer portal? Is it? I guess some are leaving because the coach got fired, so they're gonna follow the coach that recruited them because that's usually it. But then some I'm like,
shout out to the guys that are watching everybody leave and they're like, all right, now I can play next year. We gotta shout them guys out, man. The guys that are staying, because like we're from the era and generation where like if you don't play your first year, you work on your game and you show them that you deserve some playing time in the next year or two. You don't let any coach tell you I'm not gonna play you.
Right.
You make him eat his words. So like I don't understand the whole. I get it now. The landscape is totally different.
Yeah.
And there's money involved and stuff like that. So I totally understand the world's different. But like I'm just Right.
Yeah, don't make sense.
They're on the grind, man.
Yeah.
Improving every year.
Yeah, some local guys. Andre Mills, he's heading to Maryland. But once again, he's going with the coach that recruited him.
Yeah.
Kayvon Mulready, he's from Worcester. He's transferring from Georgetown.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it so far, but...
Oh, what's his name transferring too? Everybody transferring, bro. Then homeboy from Baylor too.
Oh yeah, Jason.
Well, Jason. Everybody transferring.
Everybody's in that transfer portal, which is wild.
Granted, some of that makes sense though, but I would wait a year and see if. But based on what people getting brought in, you might not get another opportunity until your junior year. So
this is just a business now. This is free, and the transfer portal is free agency. That's what it is. They might as well call it what it is.
But some of them kids, they might want to go JUCO because you're able to play and keep your eligibility.
Yeah.
This like D.L. Johnson did that. Homeboy from Texas. Oh, I forgot his name. He played Last Chance U on YouTube. Yeah, he played at Texas. He's gonna be somewhere next year, but it's a bunch of guys, man.
Speaking of Texas, that boy Trey Johnson, man. Granted, they got bounced early, but
he nice.
he
He the best guy since Durant.
Yeah. I think he almost broke Durant's records and stuff. But yeah, the more and more I watched Texas, I was like, damn, this dude is tough. Because his shot making is kind of crazy.
I was wondering how he didn't just go. How he had to go from he was in Texas to went to Link Academy. Just to go to Texas when he was already getting recruited by them. So I don't know if it was grades or
grades or competition or something.
I mean, he's from Texas, so they already know what they're getting.
Right. Oh snap! We got athlete. We got +1. So we got Brooks head coach Kenya Jones, and this was a good one. We talked about them winning the NEPSAC Class B championship. The season they had. And also, he's familiar with a bunch of folks from Lynn. So, shout out to Coach Jones on this one. Check this out, then we're going to come back. Hello and welcome to a special edition of the +1 interview. And today we have Coach Kenya Jones from Brooks School here. Sir, how are you, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm good. I'm still riding on a little high right now. It's like I'm floating.
Hey, man, you got the trophy here. Your team had a really successful season this year. Up and down season, but I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Correct. And it was definitely a marathon. You guys start the season off. 2 of your key players are injured, right?
Correct.
Young guys they get thrown in the fire.
Correct.
And as a head coach, how do you just make sure you ease them in and just make sure they keep their confidence? Because sometimes when you're young and you get thrown in the fire, in a league like this one, the ISL league, your confidence can kind of go up and down. So how were you able to just make sure they keep their confidence and understand the bigger picture?
To be honest, I don't think I did a good I did a good job of that. To be honest, Lex had gotten hurt and he didn't want to tell anybody, and so I was just practice as usual. So when he came back, right, he had gotten hurt the week before Thanksgiving. Came back right after Thanksgiving break, and I was just like business as usual. And everyone, you could just see their energy shift. And to me, where I'm from, right, I'm New York, somebody's hurt ahead of you, like, I want that spot. That's more playing time. These kids were sitting back like, wow, this is our leader. And so I tried to just push them into the fire and be like, yeah, we're good. And that really, it worked for a little bit, but not a lot. You could tell their heart and soul was gone. Right. And we tried to really just power through it. And, I stayed me, right? Mm-hmm. I tried to stay me, and I think I should have did a little bit better of sort of cajoling them and being like, all right, we're good, and so I think that played into having a little bit of a rough start because we didn't really talk about it. We just sort of went through it as is. Yeah,
as you said, losing their leader, but it was he was still around. He was still trying to, he was still trying to keep their spirits up. Absolutely. As you're coaching, he's still on the sidelines trying to keep their spirits up. Absolutely. In games like that. Did that give them the hope that they know when he does come back, for them to just be able to ride the ship and just keep things afloat before he gets back?
Absolutely. Lex's leadership skills are phenomenal. That's what got us over the hump and made us who we are. If you ever take a look and watch us, we always huddle up in a circle. We're always in a circle. And that really was something started by me, but Lex pushed that over the top. And he was coaching, and you could see the kids really look up to him. And so he was down just that one practice when he came back. And the rest of them, he was there. He was clapping. He was talking, right? He was motivating. And just having him there absolutely sort of helped. It would have been terrible if he sulked. If he sulked, we would have been shot. But because he was still positive through it, and that also gave him an opportunity to sort of watch from the sidelines, to see, to be a coach, right? To see the whole thing rather than just him being there to see, okay, this is what coach is talking about. So he became a coach in that way. And then once he was able to get back on the court, that translated, that helped. Yeah,
I'll get back to that one in a second. But out of the players that were getting the big time minutes, how many of those guys, this was their first time getting big time minutes this season? Out of all the players that you had in substituting for the injuries.
Yeah, DJ was a big one. DJ Casamajor had a huge start to the season. Came out with 20 points versus Proctor. That really helped us in the tournament versus Frederick Gunn. He had 4 threes. I don't know how many points, but DJ as a sophomore played a huge role into that after having some games last year, but not not really carving out a huge role. Harris Cantave, huge role, but he worked on that. I mean, he came out preseason and was dunking everything where, that wasn't him last year. So we really relied on him early on. Noah Walker also came through. Noah was new though, so that was a lot new for him as a junior. You could see sort of he was up and down, but Riley was thrown into the fire. Trocon had been thrown into the fire the year prior to. Tristan Yepto had been thrown into the fire. So it was a mix. It was a good mix. And I was trying to pick up some younger guys, some sophomores, and even a freshman, Jaden Gibson, who was thrown in there. I had to, I was trying to find a backup point guard, and I threw him in there when we played St. George's. And that was a lot. We had lost by almost 50 that game. So it was a mix. It was a mix of balance of guys who had had to step up and those who had been in there before.
And then also you have to try to find those lineups that work in certain games depending on the matchups and stuff like that. How difficult was that, or how much pressure was that for you just to try to figure out which lineups is working with which? Yeah,
you just throw it on the wall and try to make it stick. And that's what it was from game to game, right? It's funny because we have a bunch of kids that do their thing well, but not everything well, right? With not one well-rounded kid, right? And so it was tough. We don't have a huge wing, and so trying to find a wing and who can defend that. So trying to piece it together was really challenging and interesting. There was one game my assistant coach Marquise was talking about where we had Noah, Riley, and Herons all on the court at the same time. And that didn't work out very well, right? Because none of them are really wings. They're like tweeners between 3s and 4s, and they're confused about who they are. And I'm just saying that position-wise. And so, that didn't work. So trying to figure out those lineups was definitely challenging. Fun, but challenging.
Yeah. You just mentioned Trocon and how he played big for you, getting some minutes last year. His development as a player at his position, how has that grown since when you first got him to this point?
Yeah, Tro has always had the skill, but it's always been, trying to find what makes him tick, what makes him go. He's such a even-keeled kid, right? He's quiet, and I've always been trying to push him to just be tougher and not let people bump you. So I think a lot of it was physical, right? And him getting physically stronger, and he was able, I think in years before, people were bumping him. I remember him coming up early in the season, was like, Coach, I've been in the gym. So he's bumping people back, and I think physically, that really helped. Confidence-wise as well. I think Trocon understood who I am as a coach and what I'm asking from him and what we needed. And Tro had huge play. Tro was the backboard. Listen, at 6'1", Tro led our team in rebounding the whole season. Okay, he led our team in rebounding. We have 6'7", 6'6" kids because he's in the trenches, right? He's in there. He has a great sense of where the ball is going to come off the rim. And so he was one of those by the end that you just couldn't take off the court. I mean, really all season, even without Lex, you could not take Trocon off the court. And he was pivotal to what we did.
All right, we are back. Shout out to Coach Jones for that. You guys played against Brooks, right? When you was at Prep?
I was at Prep, yeah. Did you go to Brooks?
No.
We played him at that the Basketball City tournament.
Okay. What was that?
New York. I'm up at Basketball City, New York.
Okay. The one in Boston.
And you said shout out Joe Kim. No, he was at that tournament. Dorian was at that tournament. A bunch of people was at that tournament, bro.
Okay.
A bunch of them.
Yeah.
Me and DB actually ran into each other. What you doing? What you doing here? So, that was dope.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, their campus is nice, though. I like their campus. Nice. It's not like most secluded campuses and stuff like that. There's actual, civilization.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not like Canterbury. It's not like most prep schools. Because it's funny because I was showing the class IMG Academy because a lot of kids want to be student athletes. So I was showing them what it's like going to prep, and I was showing them my school and then showing them the differences.
Yeah.
And I showed them how the campus life is at prep school, my school, because it's like you wore a shirt and tie. I said, yeah, but I said my get up was a little different. My tie was loose like Will's.
Right.
I wore Tim's every day.
Oh man, we got some NBA news for y'all. All right, the Nuggets coaches getting fired before the playoffs is wild. So yesterday, the Nuggets fired Mike Malone. A couple weeks ago,
Oh man,
Taylor Jenkins. The Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins. I like at this point, why don't you just wait till after the season's over? Because the playoffs is kind of close. But Malone and the Nuggets also fired the GM Calvin Booth. But those two had like friction. The head coach and the GM, they ain't like each other much. And they was friction.
They got rid of them both.
Yeah,
y'all been duking out in the parking lot, unemployed. You gonna be arguing on company time.
This is just hilarious because it's kind of like, all right, so y'all got to playoffs is next week. Who's gonna be coaching, and what does this do for the teams?
For one, I was shocked at this one just because, like I said, the playoffs about to start. Unless Jokic runs that team and we just don't know it.
All right.
But I don't understand that. Let the man finish the season out. The damn season's almost over.
Yeah, and the way they're playing, it's probably most likely they're not even going to make it past the first round.
Unless he did something that he has to be removed, like you touching people, you doing something weird, like that's automatic removal. But if they don't like you, they can let you finish your tenure.
Right.
That's just called being professional.
Yeah, like we could do.
And I'll be honest, a lot of these organizations are so unprofessional nowadays. I don't know how they even stay afloat. But how do you even have these people still in these positions when they're showing they're so unprofessional?
Right. Very, very, very much so. And
who's that Jenkins dude? Where'd he come from?
Taylor Jenkins, I think he was with the Spurs. I think he was like an assistant for the Spurs.
He worked his way up. Did he play anywhere?
I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I've never heard of him until he was coaching with the Grizzlies.
I just know he worked his way up and stuff. So that was another one. But that one, they've been like getting rid of all the assistants he brought in like the last couple of years. So it was kind of it was like
they fired your assistants.
Yeah,
I thought you pick your own assistants.
They do, but man.
Oh, so basically he was like a puppet.
Yeah,
he was slowly like they were moving him. Then he had the hand, and then supposed to talk.
So they got rid of all the assistants, and then they got rid of him. So
you should have just left. Like if you see the Avalanche knocking off one guy, the guy next to you, you don't think you're next.
Cold world, man. It's a cold business. This is a cold-blooded business, man. The business part of sports is just ruthless.
Bro, that's like us going to a party, bro. All y'all get the boot, and I stay. No, we all leaving together. What are we doing here?
Nah, facts. Facts.
Like, what?
Oh, snap. Facts. Oh my gosh, I be getting these things. A little bit. Celtics last night. So the Knicks offseason, they made all those moves. They made all the trades to get Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. They built their team to specifically beat the Celtics. That was their whole mantra for coming into this season, and they were 0 for 4 against them this year.
Well, you got rid of the fourth Ninja Turtle. The Villanova villains. You got rid of the fourth one. You guys had like a little cool nucleus going on, and then you just blew it up.
Yeah, and then
well, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know either, because the idea of them putting Mikal Bridges on Jason Tatum, they didn't understand that was not a good assignment for him, because he was getting cooked the whole game. Every time he was on him, it was just a bucket after bucket after bucket, and it's kind of like, well, what do you expect? Jaden 6'10", he's 6'4", 6'5". He's not.
And he's pretty slim compared to Tatum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then they try to put OG on him, and that's the.
I'll be honest though, we're talking about the Knicks.
The game was hilarious too. The game was, if you watched it, it was just a hilarious game, because the Knicks came back, took the lead, and then Tatum ties it up. Then Porzingis went crazy, and it was just like, when y'all tried y'all best, y'all still couldn't beat him. It was like, it's just. But these dudes are gearing up for the playoffs, so they're getting ready for that title to try to get another one. they got 3 games left, trying to go back-to-back 60 wins, and they're gonna rest these guys for the playoffs. And they're already secured. They're locked in at number 2. Cavs number 1, they're number 2. So it's kind of like they already know what's gonna happen. So it's just a matter of guys being healthy and to come in as the playoffs come around.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yo, did you see Luka get ejected for trash talking a fan last night?
Huh?
It was his second technical.
But what's that got to do with? He wasn't even talking to anybody.
He was
on the court.
So there's an OKC fan. Every time Luka goes out there and play, him and that particular fan are always going back and forth. So the ref just happened to be standing next to the fan after Luka scored, and Luka everybody knew he was talking to the fan, but the ref gave him a T and got him out the game. And it was a close game too. Turned to 1 point, and the Lakers ended up losing, but it was kind of like, yo, ref. People coming to see the players, not you. Stop taking out the money makers and stop taking out the guys that people paid to come see. Like,
I'll be honest. So they got these referees that when they look over stuff, when they check calls and stuff like that. Yeah. So why don't they have a ref up in the box or whatever that declines that type of decision or that overrules it? You're going to kick the man out for something that you really had no clue what was even said or even directed to you.
Right.
A ref should be to be like, no, we was talking to the fan. You know what I mean? Right. It should be some way to just kind of overrule that referee, because the referee kind of messing the game up.
They really are, because like the stuff they let Draymond Green get away with and don't call no technicals or eject him, and then some of the other guys you see in the league that get techs or get ejected, it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like Draymond the other day, like legit put an elbow to the dude Sengun, and he's like in the ref's face, like call the foul, like clapping in his face and stuff like that. You see other guys do that. It's a quick technical, but they don't like the stuff they let him get away with as opposed to other guys. It's like, yo, what?
They're probably scared of him. Only way I can explain that. Person, you got a job to do, and y'all get paid a good amount of money to do it.
Right.
Do your damn job. It ain't that hard.
Right.
You ref basketball games for a living. You should be excited to go to work you should be excited to go to work. Granted, who wants to be running up and down the court for damn near 3 hours? But you ref professional basketball games for a living. You make a real healthy amount of money, healthy living doing it. So just do your job, man.
Right. Stop being so sensitive. They're so sensitive.
And also, this goes for any and everybody. Stop bringing your damn feelings to work unless you get paid for your feelings at work.
Right.
Please stop doing it, because nobody cares. They're not supposed to care either.
Let me tell you, at the Guinness tournament over one day, one of the games, right, there was a blatant kickball that happened, like a blatant kickball. Let's say the kickball happened right here, the baseline ref is right here. You should be able to see that. Does not call it. Other team goes and scores. The team, obviously, they mad because it's like, yo, what are you looking at? Ref calls 2 back-to-back technicals because don't like the way the players are talking or yapping, but it's because, like, you just missed a blatant call. And then the ref said, it wasn't in my line of vision. I didn't see it. Then try to say it wasn't a kickball. And everybody in the gym was just like, it was a kickball. Like what are you doing? Right, so
that person seems like they lack a skill that you need to be referee accountability, or you need to be an adult. Accountability. You screw up. Let's move on. But don't give a bunch of excuses and you're making an avalanche of.
Right, especially with the technicals, like then trying to eject players
because of your screw up.
Right, in a tournament, like that.
All because they don't have the ability to be accountable. Right. They want to screw the whole game up based on their one issue or their feeling of insecurity. Get over yourself, lame.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who that person is. And I do not want to know that person.
No, you don't. No, if you had that ref, you'd probably be ejected.
I respect that.
You would be ejected just because of the way they were reffing.
I respect that.
Alex Ovechkin, he broke Wayne Gretzky's record. Was it points or goals? Points, right?
I think it was goals, brother.
It was goals? Okay.
Goals.
Okay.
No, it's my favorite hockey player, man.
Yeah.
OV.
Not sure how long that record was standing for Gretzky, but hey, who better to do it than Ovechkin?
It's been standing since he did it.
Yeah. I don't know when he stopped playing.
I think this might have been. Oh yeah, you're right.
But,
he was a king after. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. But hey, man, congrats to Ovechkin, man. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm surprised he's still playing this long.
Why are you surprised?
He's been at it for a while.
Surprised he didn't kill himself. What you mean to say? The way he was driving early in his career, had a couple serious accidents. Man, driving over 100 miles an hour, bro.
That's that need for speed.
Yeah, man. It's the European world, bro.
Facts.
The Autobahn and stuff like that. But yeah, man, he's one of the greatest goal scorers of any generation.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody really getting here anytime soon unless it's somebody in my daughter's generation.
Right.
Just because you see the gap between, and guys don't score like he does. What happened to Crosby? Where he at?
I don't know. And you kind of more familiar because you've been around more hockey players than I ever been.
Yeah.
Right? So you kind of understand it more.
I was fortunate enough to go to a prep school named Canterbury School in Newark, Connecticut, and like I said, a couple of guys I was with. This group, Carter Lee, he was drafted to the Sharks. Jamie Fritz, he played in the playoff game with the Flyers. I watched that game live. And a couple other guys were in D1. Oh, I forgot the goalie went to Penn State. They didn't even have a team. He went to Penn State to go play club hockey. Because you can still go places off the club hockey and stuff like that. Yeah, it's hockey. The hockey world in colleges is different. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I would say me being in prep school that 1 year, because granted, I also went to the only real hockey school in Lynn. No disrespect to anybody, but when I was in high school, St. Mary's was really the only real hockey school. Like,
yeah, we had a hockey team.
They all had teams, but we the only team that actually going to like the Gardens and stuff like that, winning games and stuff. So, you know, me being able to see the difference between that, no difference between high school basketball and prep school basketball. Right. Just a different. Put it like this: I seen a guy by the name of Brandon French. He played juniors. He was the best player I've ever seen play hockey, and I don't think he even sniffed the NHL. And the guys that were like ahead of him couldn't. Man had they call it a Texas hat trick. He had 4 goals in one game.
Well, damn.
He called it Texas hat trick because he made it up because they never heard of it. 4 goals in one game. You know what I mean? So I was fortunate enough to be around some cool guys and great hockey players. So we all lived together.
Okay, that's dope.
We're the same doing.
Yeah, congratulations on 895 career goals exactly is the record. So at this point now, it's just, you know, kind of like the LeBron thing. How much will he have until he's done? You know, he's going to stick around long enough for 1,000?
You know me, I was watching all them. Actually, I watched the game where he tied it. I missed the game when he went over, though. All right. Shucks.
Hey, man, quickly, the Red Sox, baseball season started. The Red Sox, they're 6-6 right now, though, but it's early on. Rafael Devers, he had a little rough start. He was like 0 for 12 or something like that. He had a rough start, but they got back. They won 5 in a row before losing the last 2 to the Blue Jays. They play the Blue Jays again tonight, and I believe they had just signed somebody to a long-term deal. But Red Sox baseball season is back in effect, so we'll have updates throughout the season. Like midway through the season, we'll have an update, and then when the playoffs is rubbing around, hopefully the Red Sox this year are good enough to be in the playoffs. We're just tired of them not being in the playoffs, and I think they may have addressed their pitching issues. I think they have made adjustments. It's not as good as it should be, but I think it's a little bit better than last year.
And I'm trying to sweat in the spring, in the summertime, and in the fall, man. Win some games. Man. I don't like being cold all the time.
Yeah, Julio Jones retired. He announced his retirement, but he's been retired. Like, it's just official now because I don't even think he played last year. So
I don't think he played he was on teams. But I don't think he played a couple years, bro.
Yeah, because I think the year before he was on Philly or something, and then he was on Tampa with Brady, and I think he was on the Titans at one point. But yeah.
Well, shout out to him.
Hey, man. Yeah. congrats on the long career, man. Anytime you go 10 plus years in the NFL, that's you made that pension.
That's a blessing.
Yeah,
this is 10, just like the NBA is 10.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, they should probably be like 6, 7,
Yeah.
10.
Braden Burry, he's a 5-star recruit. He's going to Arizona. This just it. I'm just reading that right now.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, they got a good class coming in Arizona.
Yeah, they do. They gotta do something with it though.
Yeah, they do. You were right.
Nah,
I don't even know what conference they're in.
They're in. I think it's the Big Ten now. Which don't even look right.
I don't.
Don't even look right, man.
You know, I was confused with conferences when I saw that Cal and Stanford were in the ACC.
Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're right. That don't even make no.
It don't make no sense at all. Pedro, can you make sense of what's going on in the boxing world?
Here it is, man. Last week, we had a nice fight over in Australia. And here it is, man.
Damn, Australia.
Oh, yeah. Tim Zoom in the return. He annihilated this guy, Spencer. Look at him.
Oh, man.
I was gonna say, homeboy gotta do something. You about to get a concussion, blocking all them punches to the head.
Look at that. Kind of like, quit.
Oh.
Take it no more. He's back on the scene. That was a great win for him. So hopefully he'll match up with one of those guys like Fundura, the Tower Inferno, 6'6" dude.
Damn, 6'6".
6'6".
You shouldn't be boxing if you that tall, man. Get on the basketball court. Get on the basketball court. You don't need to be doing all that, man. Boots Ennis, is that this week or next week?
This week, this Saturday.
No.
There it is right there. So it's going to be an excellent fight because it'll be an unification fight.
Okay. Okay. We'll have Stevie on next week to talk about this because this the guy he been propping up Boots Ennis for a while.
Boots is nice.
Yeah,
Boots is nice.
Yeah. Rashidi wants a piece of Boots. Pause.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let's set it up.
Yeah, right.
That's what's going on for now. So hopefully, I'm rooting for Ennis. I think he'll be all right. Now, this guy, Sonny Owens, he's pretty good too. He's a champion. So.
All right. All right, we got highlights, yo. The 68th annual Harry Aganis basketball tournament took place over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This year they was playing at St. Mary's, Tech, and St. George. So, shout out to the good folks at St. George Church. Check these highlights out, and we're gonna come back. right, folks, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, shout out to the folks at St. George's Greek Orthodox Church, man. The Reverend, they always, those 3 days I'm there, I'm Greek for the weekend. They treat me as one of their own. It's just a good time. I was telling Todd, Anderson, he was telling me back in the day where some of the Greek guys he knows that played in it try to, have him on his on their team and stuff. And it was a little more tight back then with like the non-Greek players and stuff like that. So it's like they wouldn't let him play because of that. But now it's like one or two. I've seen like one or two non-Greek players on each team and stuff like that. But it's a good time.
And so they probably need the numbers wise. You know what I mean? They'll probably have a certain amount, but an extra guy could just help make the tournament better, more competitive.
Yeah, but this year, the St. George actually won this year. They actually won it this year. Yeah,
congrats to them.
They actually won
now, question, do they still doing the festival outside?
Yeah.
I will support them. Pop used to always work it. That's when I was actually able to go over there.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually probably going to be there. They be always, they be telling me to come through. I'm like, I tell you, I'm an adoptive Greek now. Friday, Boys and Girls Club League, High School League. Well, if you want to check it out, I'm going to check it out this Friday.
It's every Friday?
They do it every Friday. There's 3 games, 5, 6, 7.
I got a training from 6 to 7.
Yeah, so I'm going this Friday to check it out. One of the refs I seen over the weekend, he's going to be reffing it, so I'll be there.
That's that state police joint? Or was that an event they was having?
Over the weekend?
I don't know. I just seen Emilio. He had the state police joint.
Oh, I think that was a sponsored team. That was a sponsored team. Yeah, the state police I think sponsored the team.
Okay, I don't be knowing. I'll be under the rock with that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't know either, but yeah, I think they sponsored the team. Yeah, but yeah, I'll check these guys out this weekend. I think the carnival's going on at Connery, the annual carnival. I think the location's at Connery.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Connery's schoolyard isn't that big.
It's not. So I gotta double check. Is that at Connery or like behind the fire station over there?
In that field, the whole joint.
Yeah, by Market Basket and stuff like that.
So that's why I'm like, that's a carnival in there. I don't know.
So I'll go check that. There's a lot of stuff to do over the weekend, folks. A lot of stuff to do. Just this weather need to get nice.
I might even go to the carnival. I ain't gonna go on no rides though. They put them things up too fast for me.
Yeah, I don't go on the rides.
Yeah, I just go support though.
Congratulations, Trotsky Pena. He's going to Westfield State.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, my cousin Darnell. He's going to Elms. He's gonna be out there in the boonies.
Okay, congrats to him.
He's gonna be out there in the boonies.
That's dope.
Oh my goodness, he ain't got nothing to do but basketball in school out there.
Hell yeah.
Juliana Conte from St. Mary's is going to Eastern Connecticut.
Oh, she's going to East Cone? Okay, congrats to her. That's dope.
Going there.
That's dope.
Yeah, all you players, that's already decided where you're going next year. Shout out to all y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoy the college experience.
Yes, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it.
Hey,
take it one day at a time.
After that, overdo it.
Or we like me the first night.
You only live once. Overdo it as much as you can.
But Mook, when we give kids college tips, you look at me like, and I'm like, I won't give you my tips. I'll let you. He's Dr. Mook.
Hey, my college tip for everybody, for all the kids that are graduating this year, my college tip is work during the day, fun at night.
I got a college tip. My college tip is your first night on campus, stay in your room and get to know your roommates. Don't show up the next morning. They're like, yo, where were you at? Don't worry about it. Just stay in your room the first night.
Also, talk to everybody.
Yeah, that too.
Talk to everybody.
Yeah,
talk to everybody, because you never know. You literally never know who you might be talking to, because you might be talking to the heiress of some country or something.
No idea.
Yeah, so that's one thing I love about college is the people you get to you randomly walk into or encounter and all that.
And one thing about college, like, you might outgrow some of the friends you grew up with, But college, that's where you kind of like, you guys are all in the same situation, so you're gonna have some brothers and sisters to come out of that situation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of, like once you leave high school, like some of your high school friends, you get older, you might grow apart, but.
They might be envious because you went on to further your career and play, and they're stuck working because they have babies, or situations that
Life.
Yeah, life. This is, even though your friends shouldn't do that, but life is life, and people make their own decisions, man.
But college, the friends you make in college, literally they become like your other siblings.
I mean,
set of siblings.
Some of my college friends are Mook boys,
Yeah.
so like.
Not for real. Oh snap! Congratulations to Dina. He's gonna be
shout out Dina.
New head coach
Over here.
Yeah. New head coach for the Lynn English Bulldogs. There were some comments made about him on social media which weren't true at all, and I think those type of things just don't need to be said at all. Very unnecessary, and it's also like, why would you even say something like that to the godfather of your child? But whatever.
Let's just all get along,
Let's
and be
support.
respectful, and support each other,
Yeah,
man.
let's
Regardless,
support.
granted, if you feel a certain way, you can feel that way, but still, just support your fellow brother, and if that's your brother.
Right. Yeah, because we got enough issues in this city in general, so
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, now Dina got to do it. Now Dina got to talk to me and do it with Dina talks to me and he talks to me, but he gotta talk to me on the camera now, which he hates doing. But now he got to do it.
Bring your ass over here, Dina.
I told him. He's like, I'm camera shy. Like, hey man,
Really?
it's part of the job. You know how reserved he is.
Yeah, but like, I feel like only being camera shy if you're just like that aware of them being there. He's a basketball player, so like, he should just ignore them. Like, we ignore everything.
Yeah, but
I know some people
but you know how he is.
Yeah,
He just
some people just can't get over the fact that there's things staring at them.
Yeah,
I get it.
He just be like, told you, I watched there was a game. He filled in as head coach, and he just. This was him the whole time. Just sat back, ain't called too much plays, ain't do much. He just sat back and just told him a couple things to do, and that's all they did.
I mean, as long as you do all your groundwork in practice, you ain't got to do all that extra stuff on the sideline during games. As long as your team dynamic is how it is, you know what I mean? Some people are screaming, stomping, cussing on the sideline. Some people are cool, calm. Only they pick and choose when to lose it. It's all right.
Hey man, next week we're gonna have Corey Lowe coming in here next week. He gonna come in here, try to get Aunt Gurley in here, but trying to get those two in at the same time. But he gonna get one of them in here. Talk some hoop. We got a lot of stuff.
I think Gurley reffing now, ain't he?
Probably.
I think he reffing now.
I'll ask. But,
Yeah, I think we follow each other.
Okay, he reffing. That's good, man. We need more guys like that. And hey man, I won't have to send the bill collector on some of y'all, but listen. I'm Mukala Kabongo. That's Todd. He's gonna show y'all he ain't gonna show it now, but y'all gonna see his what he working on pretty soon.
Yeah, I got a bunch of things I'm working on.
Yeah, y'all gonna see it.
So I'm pretty creative.
Yep. Pedro, always in the background. Oh yeah, and happy belated heavenly birthday to my brother Danny. It was his birthday the other day.
Facts.
And
Facts.
Yeah. So yeah, we're out of here, folks. We'll see y'all next week.